On to the next topic. Would you go into space if given the option? Say to the International Space Station or on Virgin Galactic? And as a bonus question, would you go to Mars, but you would have to live out your natural life there? So, thoughts? Anybody?
It's kind of a tricky one, I guess.
So just the space first. Would you go to space, say either on Virgin Galactic, let's say someone bought you a ticket or whatever, or you won a competition, or you...
Are we the first ones to go up?
No, have you ever heard of Yuri Gagarin? What the fuck do you mean are we the first ones to go
I don't mean it like that, Jesus Christ. Like, oh, for fuck.
Are you saying that the moon landing was fake?
Yeah. So you're a conspiracy theorist.
No, I meant like out of... Oh, I hate you two.
I mean,
well, there's already been people
voyage.
on Virgin
like
Galactic
this
as test flight.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
And
like,
there are people on the International Space Station right now, so you wouldn't be the first there either.
She means
I meant like this project. Yeah. See, Lou gets me. Like, that's what I meant. Like, this process, this, you know.
You wouldn't have to be. It doesn't have to be. It's like, let's say you're the 10th flight or whatever a spaceship's called. I don't know if it's still called a flight, but yeah.
The 13th flight, would you go up on?
Well, ever since I got run over on Friday the 13th, I think 13's owed me, and it's always since been my lucky number. So, you know. So for me, 13's quite lucky now. So I probably would.
It probably wouldn't happen twice.
Well, they say that about being struck by lightning, don't they? And that's happened a few times to people.
Well, that's not true, is it? You actually, I think you might even be more likely.
It's more in the odds, not.
It all depends on like your ties. You talk about the Virgin one. That seems like it will probably be relatively safe. They'll want to perfect it. But,
yeah, well, can you imagine? No one's going to sign up if everybody dies on like the first or second flight. No one's going to sign up after that, are they?
Naturally.
So it's going to tank, so they have to make it safe. It's probably why they've took so much time with it. You know, they've got like prototypes that they've, you know, sent up there with test pilots and whatnot. But
I think it's super duper expensive.
Oh, it is. I think it's a minimum like £100,000 minimum. I think, and it depends what you classify as going into space because it's a suborbital flight. I think so. I don't think you fully. I think you are technically in space, but it's like you're saying you're in quite a low orbit, so there's probably still some atmosphere, even if it's like 1% or something at where you are.
I'd go.
It's a funny thing, like we're talking about this, but in a few years' time, grannies will be nipping up there all the time.
Oh yeah. Well, I wouldn't say a few years' time, but 50 years' time, it would probably be.
To space.
It could be the same as taking a plane to America.
Cruises. It would be like,
yeah. I mean,
yeah, the space version. To be the first of anything, you've got to be quite brave. But like,
yeah, I definitely wouldn't be the first. That's crazy talk. Unless I was literally going to be like Neil Armstrong, like the first on Mars or whatever, then, you know, maybe. But this Virgin Galactic, I'd go probably, but only after like, you know, 100 flights have already happened or something. Yeah. So we know it's safe or something like that.
Or when the Sun put out vouchers to collect weekly. So you can go for $9.99.
Yeah.
But that was my point. That's what I meant earlier. Like, are we the first ones to go up? Not.
Yeah, I know. You know, but it just sounded funny the way you said it.
If you got the opportunity, I think you'd probably have to go for it. I'd say caution if you had children or like your very young children or anything like that. But
it's a chance of a lifetime to a degree.
Yeah.
I mean, perhaps less so with Virgin Galactic, but if you got offered to go on the International Space Station, you know, that it would be a chance of a lifetime. But I get, we've discussed this before, I get motion sickness really bad. I don't know how having no gravity, you know, no access as what's up and what's down would work with me. I'd probably just be sick all the time.
And
Don't you have to?
sick ain't going to be a pretty thing in space,
No.
mate.
No, well, it might be pretty,
Blobbing
but
about
just
everywhere.
in an abstract sense.
Jackson Pollock,
Yeah. You know.
naturally.
But yeah,
Don't
how
they-
about... Sorry, carry on.
Sorry,
I don't think they'd
don't.
let you go up. He'd need a face nappy.
A face napping.
Maybe we could invent some.
I've just invented the face nappy.
Exactly. We'll trademark and patent pen this before it goes live, yeah? Before this video goes live.
There's becoming a pattern with this. Didn't we have
know.
a good idea last time as well?
Just genius ideas, seriously. Just coming out of this.
Yeah.
If space travel becomes a serious thing, then, you know, face nappies could genuinely be a product, so... You know.
It's good to know that we're doing great things and predicting the future.
Yes.
We're pushing forward humanity one step at a time, I think. You know, one conversation at a time. How about Mars then? Would you go to Mars, but you have to live there? Because there's some talk about like NASA doing projects and then private enterprise doing projects and stuff. Would you go to Mars, but you'd have to live there? Imagine that they could make it relatively
I have
comfortable.
the answer to this.
Yeah.
Right? Before you sign up for the Mars program, go to the website and have a look at some of the audition tapes, and I'll tell you why my answer is a big hell no.
Yeah.
The people that are signing up are freaks. They are crazy.
Those sorts of people are never going to get on it. They're going to go for, you know, fighter pilots. They're going to go for scientists, doctors. They're not going to pick, what about that weird dude over there with the fucking...
It's not Big Brother.
With the crazy eyes. Let's
with
go
the patented face nappy.
Yeah. He keeps trying to sell me face nappies. He's convinced that they're going to make money. But face nappies could be a big thing on Mars. Who knows?
All right then. That said, right, we get along fairly well, don't we?
Yeah.
Would you like to live in the same room for 4 years?
No.
I don't know if you'd be in the same room. It probably would be like bunks, though, wouldn't it?
It's going to be titchy.
I could deal with Louise. I could deal with Louise. I could not deal with you. Like, I don't even know if I'd last like a week with you.
Now you say that we'd all kill each other.
I'd be like first.
It'd be like
I'd be the one that snaps.
What's that film where they have to go to the sun to revitalise it? What's that film called? You know the one. Made by Danny Boyle. What's it called? You know the one I'm on about.
Obviously not.
Is it just called Sunshine?
It might be. It's something like that. Or something like that. Anyway, if you know what the film I'm on about. But they go where they start going insane. The closer and closer they get to the sun, it starts like affecting their brain waves or something. And they start. That's how it would be. We'd all go nuts. They'd like have to come check out what happened. NASA would, you know, send a drone or something, and it'd just be like fucking shit on the walls and blood everywhere.
Shit on the walls.
And then
That's your bedroom.
That's obviously you.
And then there'd just be the survivor sitting there rocking. Back and forth, like half naked.
So much shit.
Covered in blood.
Cannot deal with so much feces.
That's what it'd be if it was us left there.
No, us.
Yeah.
No shit on the walls.
Yeah,
it's just you.
You'd at least pick a corner, Nathan. There's literally no reason to like spread it all over the walls. For God's
yeah,
sake.
I'd make some sort of spinning device or something so I could spin around and just poop all over the walls. That's
Back
what you
to the
get.
abstract art.
I'd probably do it just to spite you. It'd probably be like one of you'd piss me off so bad I'd go into your room and just spin poop. That's what you get.
Oh, for God's sake.
I think the poop's important. Have you seen the Martian?
Oh yeah. That's a really good film. That.
For growing potatoes.
Yes.
Don't even start.
He has to do it in his. He has to do it with his poop because the soil on Mars isn't like fruitful enough. It's not got enough minerals and shit in it, vitamins and minerals and shit. Literally.
So he grows potatoes in shit. His own
shit. Yeah, it's about survival though. You want to survive. You know, you have to eat poo potatoes. So.
You want a jacket potato? You know. That's just the way it is.
Really good film. It's got quite a slow pace, but it's you know, really engaging or whatever.
It is very
and
good.
the stuff that, you know, the signs with it and everything's kind of cute. So yeah. Anyway, back to the point. Would you? We know Louise wouldn't. What about you, V? Would you live on Mars?
If I got the opportunity to go now, I'd probably say no. But if I was older, then
Let's pretend you had no dependencies. No one was dependent upon you. Would you go live out there? Or if people came and you'd live out there?
I reckon I would.
I think for me personally, I wouldn't, unless I was like,
They've said,
if I was like 50, 55, and then it's sort of like, well, you've got maybe 20, 30 years at a push, and that is going to get progressively less and less more fun those 20 or 30 years. I'd say, yeah, fuck it, let's fly to Mars and have a pop at this.
They've said that you are going to have contact with your families. They've said, although transmissions will take quite a lot of hours.
It's probably like 2 hours or something.
Sort of talk to your families and leave messages, so you don't have to cut them off completely.
Yeah.
What kind of what would the living life be like?
You would be tricky. You'd be like a pioneer. You've got to imagine like the first, English or Dutch people that went to America, to the Americas. You would be literally like building the place up from the ground up, and you probably would be doing a lot of things like farming and maintenance, a lot of stuff like that as your job.
Well, they plan to use robots to build a small base to begin with, and then to have the people expand it once they're up there.
Yeah, there'd be a base of some point. You wouldn't be the first wave.
You're going to be in a very small living area.
You'd probably be like wave 2 or something, because you're not skilled as a scientist or a doctor or an engineer.
I can't see it being a good thing. This is how friggin' horror movies come about. This is how they all start. They all go up there trying to change the world.
Is this where the zombies come from?
By aliens.
Does the zombie virus come back?
Oh my days! What if it is? What if it is? What if they're not really going up there to make a new world for us? They're just going up there to safely experiment new T viruses.
Well, no. What if they go up there and they find life, and that life gets brought back, and it turns out to be the zombie virus, or like The Last of Us? What if? Could happen.
What if?
Who knows?
But no,
this isn't a good idea. We should just keep things as they are.
It's very experimental, though. They've said other things because they don't plan to truly colonise. They have said that there's massive dangers to, for example, having children out there. They have no idea if the fetuses would develop correctly.
Is the atmosphere's not thick enough?
No. So they think that the children could end up weird. Mutated.
It doesn't have a magnetosphere which protects it from the radiation. So.
And we haven't invented anything that mimics our atmosphere, like you see in space movies.
Yeah,
this
to
is
protect
just
us from radiation.
confirming my point.
It would be dangerous, but you've got to take those first steps.
What are you talking about? You've already signed up. You said yes.
Yeah, that's too soon.
No.
You jumped the gun before anyone else.
I think you did.
Have a nice trip, Lee.
You have a lovely time. And when you have your delightful spider babies, I'd love some photos to see how they're developing.
And zombies.
After they hatch out and eat you.
Why would you say something like that? Spiders are all things. Nah.
No, it'd be fine. I think, though, in real talk, we should get colonising other planets, because I worry about how long it's before we get too clever for our own, shoes or whatever. How long before? I forgot what the saying was. What's the saying? Too clever for your own. Something like that. I mixed the metaphors.
Too clever for your boots.
That's a good one. Oh, I'll write that one down. That's a keeper. That. Right. What was I saying? Yeah, because we've almost nearly, blown ourselves up with fucking nukes and whatnot. So how long before we invent like a fucking, wormhole or something and destroy our planet, or we start working on the next new energy and blow the place up? So and that's if we don't, do something stupid like go to war with each other.
No.
So for me, I think
it's natural for us to want to spread out, and I think we will in time.
we've got all
But
our eggs in
science
one
isn't there
basket.
yet.
We got all our eggs in one basket. I would feel much more comfortable if the human race was spread out on different planets, like one on Mars. There's talks of like a floating city sort of thing on Venus. Like sort of like airships on Venus, because the
Like
atmosphere.
Cloud City.
Yeah, like
That's
Cloud
amazing.
City to a degree, probably more Zeppelin-y, but yeah, like Cloud City, because the
Really?
atmosphere at a certain height in Venus is very similar to our own. In terms of pressures and protection from radiation and things like that. I'm not sure what the atmosphere is like. I'm pretty sure it's like sulfur or whatever. I know that it rains sulfuric acid on the surface, but higher up, in the higher points of the stratosphere, it's supposed to be quite similar to our own. So that's another possible place that we could, colonize. So. But I'm a little worried that we've got all our eggs in one basket, and the reason that we haven't heard back from other alien life is because so many of us get to a point and then we get too clever for our own good and blow ourselves up, or too clever for our own boots, as one would say. So, yeah.
Yeah,
Good point.
the
How would,
aliens probably see transmissions of The Only Way is Essex and think, nah.
Yeah.
No, we ain't bothering.
What a bunch
No.
of
They'll
twats.
kill themselves in enough time. It's cool.
Yeah.
We won't
We won't have to
them.
worry about them. So, yeah, I'd like us to, spread out a little, but not all have our eggs in one basket. So,
I think it's a good point. How would the whole prison system work though? Would they have their own little
Prison
space
system?
prisons?
well, you'd imagine
there's
that.
going to be people that are
break the
gonna,
law. I'd imagine there'd be a
Very
jail.
naughty.
It'd be like how it was in the Wild West or whatever. You'd probably be put in jail in your own town or whatever. So something like that. That's what I'd imagine it'd be like.
We'd be have our own little space sheriffs and everything.
Yeah, probably. That's probably what it'd be like. The sheriff of the town or whatever. It would be quite like, a Wild West town or something like that. So, I mean, it makes sense, wouldn't it? That'd be cool. I'd be the sheriff of Mars. That'd be hella cool. I want that job.
With
Yes,
really
please.
clever boots.
Yeah, with my clever boots. Anyone says
With your
I'll
clever boots and your face nappy.
Oh, yeah, exactly. I'll have a side business of face nappies, and I'll have my clever boots. Anybody says, they'll get a clever boot in. So, it's good stuff.